All right, let's return to one of our top stories now, and we take you straight to eThekwini. And the situation, what you're seeing in those visuals there is the arrest of journalists by the Metro Police. And we just saw a little earlier, there he is. It's Pamandla Koke, that's our reporter there. He is being arrested by the police. We're not sure at the moment what it is that they are responsible for or what they are accused of having done, but the eThekwini Metro Police Department effecting the arrest of several journalists, it would seem. And remember, if we take you back to what's going on there this morning, the supporters of the eThekwini Mayor Zandile Gumede, who is on the leave of absence at the moment, they're out in full force on the streets of Durban, and they are demanding that she be returned to work. Our journalist there, Pamandla Koke, was scheduled to speak to us at some point during this hour, so it doesn't look like that is going to be happening because, as you can see in your shot there, he is currently negotiating with the police about whatever it is that he is being arrested for. We're going to try and see if we can get more details about the situation on the ground there. Let's try and listen in to the arguments.
Keep on, you can get get me. One more back.
All right, we are still trying to get details of why our journalist is Pamandla Koke, and it looks like alongside other journalists are being arrested. As Pamandla Koke looks as though he is about to be ready to speak to us. Let's see if he can hear us. As Pamandla Koke, if you can hear me, talk to us about what is happening there right now.
Let me ask my colleague Pogamkize to show the visuals. That is Sihle Mavuso. He's a reporter for the Daily News. He's being arrested. Too many journalists are being arrested here. We are covering this protest by Zandile Gumede supporters. I was manhandled. My phone was confiscated simply for filming police officers arresting a man. That's why I was manhandled. I was taken into the police van. I did not enter the police van. I had to negotiate for them to release me. I asked them, what did we do? We are here working. Chaos started after they opened the stand grenade. That's when they were trying to disperse the crowd. There is chaos all over going on here. It's showing you all night visuals. Many people are arrested. Many people are dispersed. But there is chaos outside. Today is the day for Zandile Gumede. She was meant to report back for work. After
all right, as Pamandla Koke, they're trying to at least give us a sense of why journalists are being arrested, and the little bit that we could get there from him is that they were trying to film a journalist from one of the newsrooms in Durban, and that journalist was being arrested, and their crime was to film that arrest being effected, and so the police decided that they were going to also arrest Pamandla Koke, and as you heard him say, he tried to negotiate for him to not be put in a police van so that he could be taken away. So the police clearly there using their power overzealously, if you like, because there is no law in this country that says we cannot film, particularly on a public road. And so the police department in Durban surely has to give the media some answers as to why they are interfering with the work of journalists. So you've heard Pamandla Koke there saying that it does appear that a number of journalists are being arrested. As to why that is the case, we are not sure at this point. But Spamandla, if you can hear me, try and again get us up to speed with why the police seem to be targeting journalists.
I know for a fact that Stephen from the Daily News Goli has been taken away by the police officers. This is how it happened. Police used stun grenades to disperse the crowd. We were filming that. We've been filming that throughout the day or throughout the morning. Rather. When I was filming that, 2 police officers came to me because I was filming a man who was down and the police officers were trying to arrest him. He was resisting the arrest. They were pressing him down. I filmed that and they said, I can't film that. And I said, why? This is a public road. This is a public place. It's not a private place. We are allowed to film. We are working. And then they said to me, okay, we will arrest you. And I said, but arrest me for what? They tried to confiscate my phone. They wanted me to delete that footage. I said, I will not delete the footage. I had to throw my phone into my colleague Goodwill and Bongamkize to keep my phone while I was being arrested by the police officers. One of them manhandled me. Others tried to have me handcuffed. I refused and did not comply with that, and then eventually I tried to comply. They tried to put me into a van. I said to them, I'm a reporter, I'm working, and they said they don't care, they are arresting people here. I said, but we are reporters. I'm not the only one who was arrested, by the way. Lucky for me, I did not go inside the police van. My colleagues from independent media, Osegu Njalo, Sihle Mavuso, has been taken away by the police officers. We were filming together. They were very brutal and harsh on him.
Spamandla, why is it that the police are intent on not being filmed? Because it would appear that this is the reason why they are arresting reporters.
It will appear that they were given a blanket approach or order because they had a meeting, excuse me, they regrouped earlier on and then they had a meeting, their planning meeting. There, I overheard them discussing that, guys, we need to disperse the crowd, arrest anyone here, just make sure that these people live here and vacate. They did not specifically mention journalists, but we're in the vicinity, we were filming, and then it's very bizarre and ironic that they targeted certain journalists, they arrested certain journalists, but I must be fair and honest, all journalists who were filming here had an encounter with police officers who tried to arrest them. Not only reporters, even cameramen were barred from filming, reporters were barred from reporting. We've got the footage of that. My colleague Bongamkize was able to get shaky footage of that, but it was bound to happen from earlier this morning. It was clear that there was going to be chaos between police and Zandile Gumede supporters. It has always been the case when they go to the eNCA's provincial office in Seme House to protest, but it has quickly moved now to journalists being arrested. I must say, Oli, I saw some people being injured. I saw some people being arrested, police using brutal force to arrest people here. Those are Zandile Gumede supporters and other people who were bystanders, because here at the City Hall, there is the main street, which is West Street. People are walking up and down. Even some bystanders or onlookers, they became victims. Some of them were arrested. I had one lady saying, I'm not part of this, I'm going to work. Why are you arresting me? I'm delayed because there was traffic, the roads were blockaded. Now I'm finding myself here, I'm just passing by. Why are you arresting me? They said, we don't care, we are arresting people here.
Spamandla, the obvious question to ask, therefore, is going to be, are the Metro Police Department in eThekwini trying to hide their heavy-handedness that clearly they may have had an instruction to try and effect? Are they trying to hide perhaps some kind of brutality that is going to be visited upon these supporters of Zandile Gumede and perhaps anyone who tries to expose that heavy-handedness then?
Absolutely, Chloe. Allow me to step out of the shot here. It seems as if it's calm now, but yes, the main thing that got me into trouble, I'll speak for myself and one reporter from the Daily News paper. One of the main things that got us into trouble was the fact that we were filming police officers seemingly or allegedly exacting brutality on one man who was down saying, I'm sick, arrest me, do not brutalize me. We were filming that. They said, we can't film that. And I said, why can't we film that? They said, no. we will arrest you. But that's what got me into trouble, filming that. And it's strange because it was not only Metro Police officers, or even the South African Police Service. This is a joint operation. It's a combination of Metro Police and SAPS. Others are in civilian clothes, others are in full uniform. But yes, it's a combination of SAPS and Metro Police officers. They did exact some brutality to some people that they were arrested.
Spamandla, it does appear that the police officers, as you say, it's Metro Police Department working alongside South African Police Service. Talk to us about the situation that has engulfed the eThekwini municipality right now. Is there fear that these protests that are going on almost on a daily basis, they are going to grow bigger and bigger? And what is the solution to this? What is the leadership of the government there saying? And, of course, at a political level, what's the situation around Zandile Gumede?
Well, basically yesterday, Mtumseni Ntuli, the provincial secretary of the ANC, told us that they are concerned about this escalating. The leadership of the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal is fully aware that this was going to escalate simply because there is a trend, Oli, and there is history of Zandile Gumede supporters clashing with police and security personnel at ANC offices. They have had about 3 marches to that provincial office. Yesterday night, I was covering the night vigil. They were meeting somewhere. They marched to the ANC's provincial offices saying if Zandile Gumede doesn't return to work, kuzoliwa. In other words, there will be chaos, there will be a fight. And then, so what culminated today is as a result of those tensions, because earlier on when I got here in the morning, apparently, according to the permission that Zandile Gumede supporters have, they are only allowed to occupy 3 lanes within the vicinity of the city hall. But in the morning, they had to block and shut down the busiest street in Durban, West Street. So police have been negotiating with them to say, open up these lanes. You are not allowed to occupy these lanes. It's not your permission to do so. It's not part of your permission to do so. And then they eventually complied with that. They opened up the West Street. When they were making their way to the city hall, police used stun grenades there. And when they were here again, they had to use stun grenades. We were preparing to go live on air when that happened, when that chaos ensued. So we await to hear from the provincial government, because this matter is a government-related matter. Zandile Gumede is the mayor of eThekwini, but the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal is the one that has ordered her not to return to work. Her supporters wanted to come back. She's facing fraud and corruption charges emanating from a 200 million waste tender. She's due back in court on the 8th of August. But her leave lapsed yesterday. She was meant to come back to work today. And her supporters did tell me on the record that Dago Blue, she's coming back to work today. As I asked my colleague Bonga Mkize to give you more live visuals now of police officers regrouping the field, because Zandile Gumede supporters have said they will be coming back here. It's not over. They will be coming back here to demand that she comes back to work. She was meant to report to work at 9:30 according to them. We are waiting to see whether that will happen or not.
Spamandla, let's continue this conversation if we can, because on the left side of your screen, we are showing the viewers there some visuals of the scuffle that happened earlier with those police officers passing behind you. Let's talk about this political situation, as you have called it earlier, Spamandla. Yes, it's a government matter, but it is being handled at a political level. Does it look like the provincial leadership of the ANC in KZN is handling this situation, it has a handle on this situation, or does it look like they're losing the plot? Should this be an NEC matter now?
Absolutely. It seems as if the ANC provincial leadership is losing the plot, because it's clear that you will have to, pardon me, Koli, I see some action there. Let me ask my colleague Bonga Mkize to show you again some police officers there. There was a promotion with a reporter there. Those are our colleagues from another sister station there. But okay, yes, they have been, okay. Bonga, you can come back to us. Yes, only as I was saying that the ANC in the province seems to be struggling with the Zandile Gumede matter. It was bound to happen that this was going to be a politically sensitive matter. Let me give you and our viewers some background and context to this. Zandile Gumede, up until 4 weeks ago, she was the chairperson of the ANC's biggest region, eThekwini. It's got a membership of more than 50,000 people, 110 branches. Now, that REC, the Regional Executive Committee, was disbanded by the Provincial Executive Committee of the ANC, saying their term of office has lapsed. Therefore, they will convert that and add more members, make it to be a regional task team. Zandile Gumede's supporters are fighting two things here. They wanted to come back to work, but they are also saying they do not recognize that regional task team. Hence, one of them was telling me earlier on that they've written to the national office, the office of the Secretary General of the ANC, is Mahashule, urging him to intervene. But they are also saying the matter of Zandile Gumede has got nothing to do with the Provincial Executive Committee of the ANC. They are arguing that all mayors of metro municipalities before the local government elections were announced and selected by the NEC. So therefore, the PEC cannot order Zandile Gumede to take a 30-day leave of absence. It has to be the National Executive Committee of the ANC, because that is the structure that selected and announced mayoral candidates before the 2016 local government elections. So that is the stalemate as we speak, but it's clear that the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal is struggling with this matter. It's not surprising that yesterday they have to leave it up until the 11th hour to say Zandile Gumede shouldn't report back to work, whereas they had 30 days to deal with the matter. I asked the Provincial Secretary to say, what has taken you so long? He said to me, no, all those members who are part of the Provincial Executive Committee's task team dealing with the Zandile Gumede matter, they've got daily responsibilities. They are seized with other matters. They are not only dealing with Zandile Gumede. So therefore, they need more time to finalize this matter. Then that team will present its report to the Provincial Working Committee, which will take it to the Provincial Executive Committee meeting, of which we are told is likely to be convened in 2 weeks' time, bearing in mind that this coming weekend, the PEC in KwaZulu-Natal is having a political school for its members in northern KwaZulu-Natal.
Talk to us about the status of the mayor, Spamandla Zandile Gumede. What is the status right now? So she remains on this extended leave of absence?
Absolutely, which has lapsed yesterday, by the way. So today, her supporters are saying she qualifies and she is due to come back to work. Today, yes, Bongamkize shows you police officers moving, trying to chase some of Zandile Gumede's supporters who have made their way down that street, which is right now open for traffic flow. But Zandile Gumede remains on leave, according to the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal. Her supporters say she's supposed to come back to work. Yesterday, I did ask the Speaker of eThekwini Municipality, what is the policy, what are the rules and regulations? Now that her leave has lapsed, does she need to come back to work and extend that leave? The Speaker of eThekwini Metro telling me that Zandile Gumede, like all other councillors, their office barriers, their leave is not handled in a way that a leave for administrators will be handled. So she doesn't need to report to work today because she's an office bearer. She doesn't work 8 to 4. Therefore, she can be absent depending on the number of days that she needs. The Speaker gave me an example, a recent one, of a councillor who was arrested, that is Mtokozi Sinochieza. He spent 3 months in jail. He was later released. Charges were provisionally withdrawn. The Speaker of eThekwini saying effectively or technically he was on leave for 3 months, and when the charges were withdrawn, that councillor had to come back to work because he's an office bearer, not an administrator.